Welcome to Life Heal, the future of holistic practice. So this podcast series is for holistic and complementary therapists and health coaches who are ready to evolve with the changing world of health and well-being. It is for you if you are out there trying to live your dream job and your dream purpose and are feeling that a bit disillusioned and a bit lost, and feeling that perhaps whatever you've trained in and the stuff that you're doing out there is a little bit out of date, or that you are not quite hitting the mark and it's not the idyllic life that you hoped it would be. Perhaps you feel that you're not reaching people, you don't know how to reach people. Perhaps you've got your own treatment room and you're sitting there day after day and there's no clients coming in. This podcast is for you if that is the case. So I'm Sam, integrative health coach, therapist and co-founder of Life Heal, and this series explores how integrative health, lifestyle medicine, social prescribing, digital health and multi-modality therapies are redefining what it means for holistic care and complementary therapies. Each episode is going to blend grounded insight, real-world strategies which can help you align with your own purpose and really find your position in modern healthcare and how you fit with this new healthcare that's coming in. And we're looking forward to spending time with you. If you're ready to dive in and explore the future of holistic practice, then hopefully we can keep you inspired, informed and aligned as the landscape of health continues to evolve. Welcome to episode 3, the end of the lone practitioner. In this episode, we will be discussing why collaboration, community and co-creation are the future of holistic practice. Just to recap, we discussed in episode 2 about Era 3 healthcare, what it means, what it actually is and what it means for you. And I did ask you to reflect and just take some time to digest what we were saying or what I was saying, and how that actually translates into your own practice. Hopefully it gave you some food for thought. And if you haven't listened to it, you're more than welcome to go back. I invite you to do so. As I said, it's episode 2. And it's quite a short one. And hopefully that will give you a bit of context about what we're talking about today. So, as I've said, this is an episode and it is about the end of the lone practitioner. So what do I mean by that? Once being a healer meant working alone, in quiet rooms, holding space for one person at a time. We all know what that means. You set out your stall, you do reflexology, or you've trained in massage or kinetic chain release or whatever it is your modality is. You get your room or your mobile or whatever, and then you treat one person at a time. And over time, you get tired because it's quite exhausting. You're giving so much of your own self to these treatments, and it can become quite exhausting. And I suppose the shift here that I'm suggesting is, what if healing in Era 3 isn't really meant to happen in isolation? What if you are supposed to collaborate with other people and cooperate with your community and co-create, I suppose? I had an interesting message yesterday, which I wanted to share with you. We are running, or have been invited to do a taster day down in Glastonbury, which is just with other therapists, a lovely yoga therapist that we've been working with. Don't know if they're called yoga, people are called therapists, so I apologise. But a person who does yoga, and another lady who does bars, which is sort of energy healing around the head, and beautiful souls, and was really honoured to be invited to do something like that. There's a lot of collaboration needed. There is a lot of who can do what. I feel nobody's trying to take over. Everyone's trying to be respectful of each other, to the point that I got a message saying, "Oh, I hear you do Indian head, and I hope that that's not a crossover." And almost a kind of apologetic, like, oh, I'm really sorry if you feel that I'm trying to step on your toes. It was so respectful, and I was so touched, and I just thought, wow, that is just how we are all brought up, to actually think that there is competition. So obviously I sent back a message just saying, Erica and I are not like that at all. We don't advocate for that. All the therapists we train, we say, look, this knowledge you have isn't yours anyway. You're just a conduit. You may have skills, but you've copied them or learnt them from someone else. Even Reiki is learnt from someone else. All the knowledge you learn through books is somebody's idea at one point. So I think it's lovely in this era, going into era 3 in this new paradigm of health, to not feel that people are trying to steal your business, or that they're trying to steal, we're all going after the same biscuit and have to keep undercutting people, and it's dog eat dog. And to be fair, I'm now 50, and I am of a generation, I don't know what generation you guys are at, feel free to share, but I'm of a generation where it was competition and it was dog eat dog. And people would quite happily undercut, and all the sort of dirty tricks that go on, and you had to try and fight to survive. I've had some horrendous things happen to me in my business life, and it would make your toes curl now that people would do that. And I was put into positions where I had to act in a way that I wasn't comfortable with, and I thought, well, why can't everybody just be together? And when I started doing the energy work and really understanding the universe, and from a spiritual point of view, you start to realise that people will only come to you as a client. Clients will only come to you if they resonate with you. And you create your own reality. So if you are walking about and you've just had, a horrendous experience of perhaps a car crash, let's just say that you've had a car crash, you will get people coming to you that have had the same experience. I'm sure you're sitting there going, oh yeah, like this happens. If you've got endometriosis, Crohn's, fibromyalgia, you'll end up with the clients that have the same experience as you. So it doesn't matter if you're in a room full of 10 therapists that all do identical stuff, identical websites, identical price, they even look the same. The client will only go to the person that resonates with them. That is the law of the universe. Resonance is the law of the universe. And it also doesn't matter if someone's been in the industry 20 years. It doesn't matter if they've got degrees. It doesn't matter if they've just qualified last week. Clients will go where the universe conspires via synchronicities to send them. So if that being the case, why are we all trying to compete? It makes no sense, because you're competing against what? Nothing's going to get in the way of what the universe wants anyway. And also, you've got to, from a spiritual point of view, each soul, each client is a soul, and they have their own soul path, and each teacher they come to or messenger or conduit has a message for them, and vice versa. So that being said, long story short, obviously I wrote back just saying that we're absolutely not like that, and the more the merrier, but I really, really respect and appreciate that you've taken the time to message that. For cooperation and community and co-creation, there has to be mutual respect, and there has to be that fifth dimensional understanding, which I've just spoken about, that everybody's not out for themselves. You're there to give, and you understand that by giving, you will receive back. And it may not be in a monetary way. We're not charging much for this event. It's probably the cheapest event I've ever done. But that's okay, because I'm going to meet people, and I know that I'll always be looked after. And when you get into that fifth dimensional thinking about your therapy and your practice, thinking back, okay, if I look over my business life, I've always been okay. I've always managed to eat. I've always managed to pay my bills. Sometimes it might have been less than, or sometimes it might have been more, but I'm always okay. And if you keep in that energy and that frequency, you're more than okay. You get into a flow state where everything that you need, an abundance of things, not like yachts and cars and handbags, I'm talking about an abundance of things, will be presented to you. And all you have to do is read the signs. So when we as therapists come out of the treatment room on our own as the lone practitioner, and we start to change our own mindset, change the way we are thinking, then the shift happens. And this is when we can be of greatest service, because we are servants. We're all servants. And this is when we can serve our communities. Because Era 3, if you think about it from what we were saying in the last podcast, that Era 3 is about integration, and these centres are going to be coming, and they are in places like Mexico and America and Canada. They are sort of popping up integrative health centres. So you may be asked to go in as the reflexologist or the complementary therapist to a palliative care unit or whatever. You have to learn to collaborate with other people. You're not going to be the person that saves that soul on your own. And do you really want to be? And I had a situation, and there was a client that came to me, again, didn't have very long to live, and I worked with the person as their holistic detox coach, if you like, at that time. They were going through chemo and radiotherapy at the same time. And interestingly, because this is the UK that I'm talking from, and it was about 5-6 years ago, interestingly, the professor that was in charge of them really believed that cancer is caused by stress. I mean, it was unheard of for that time. And they basically said, you need to find somebody that's going to help to manage your stress, because we're not going to do that. We're going to do the chemo, we're going to do all the NHS stuff, you're going to be well looked after, but go and find someone. So basically she was guiding him to be his own health ambassador, to be his own integrative health specialist, if you like. And that's when he did. He came and found me, and we did his diet, we did a parasite cleanse, we did lots and lots of things. Now, he only had a couple of weeks to live. And he's still with us now. And I certainly don't take the credit for that. But what I do think has happened there was a team of people around this person, and they felt secure, they felt safe, they felt listened to, they felt that people had their back. And obviously at that point, the highest energy in the room wins, and the highest energy was the professor who was in charge of all of that. So the professor was CCing us into letters, again, unheard of, and checked us all out, and we had to obviously make sure that what we were doing was okay. And what was interesting was that the symptoms of the chemo and the radiotherapy were almost nothing. And I do believe that is because of the holistic element. It does something. And then what is interesting is that a couple of times the professor was on holiday, and the understudy sort of doctor underneath was in the clinic and didn't believe in any of it, and basically said it was all nonsense. Stop wasting your time. And the health of the person dropped dramatically. It was quite interesting. So my point is that we need to get out of the way of feeling we have to save everybody, get out of the way of feeling that our modality is the only modality that works. I have no issue with whatever modality you choose to treat people with, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. What matters is your energy. Are you in your heart space? Do you have the correct intentions? Are you humble? If you're not coming from a place of ego, if you've got all of those things, you can basically just stand in a room and talk to somebody. But obviously we need to be doing something. So our own modality, whatever modality you do, there's other great stuff out there as well. Your massage may be the best massage. You may have been voted the best massage therapist in the UK or the world. There's other people and other modalities and other countries with incredible healing therapies, and there's amazing practitioners in every single field, and we can learn from everybody, from all these people. And imagine what would happen if everybody collaborates together and you come at people with this multi-modality approach. So I put it to you to just think about your own mindset for a minute. Are you in Era 2 mindset where you're, okay, yeah, I've got to look after myself, I can't pass my clients on even though I'm maybe doing reflexology and I can see that this person's legs are, there's an inch difference in their legs and that they could benefit from body alignment. I'm not trained in that, but if I pass that client on, oh, that therapist also does reflexology, what if I lose them? Well, I invite you to try it, because what will happen is reciprocity, which is you give a little bit and you're given back. And that also makes a space for another client to come in, another soul to come to you. So KCR, for instance, is one of these treatments where they say that, you can actually heal quite a lot in 1 or 2 treatments. It's a profound healing modality. But then if somebody's healthy, they should only have it a couple of times a year, if that, because if the body's back in alignment, it's back in alignment. But we see quite a lot of people that are telling, and we've heard this, and KCR definitely say not to do this, but they say, that they're having come every week for this or every month. And that's one of those instances where the therapist's panicking. They're trying to make money, which is totally fine, but they're doing it in the wrong way. So find out in your community who you can collaborate with. Go and find out who's actually offering what. Go to the community centres, go to the doctors, surgeries, go to connect with yoga people, Pilates people, just make yourself known. Go to groups, go to these networking groups. If you've not got one, start one yourself. How can you be of service in your community? And people will start to send people to you because they know you, they've met you, they love that they are resonating with you. If they resonate with you, then that means that they feel their clients are safe to come to you. And then you think, oh, well, I really love that yoga person or that Pilates person. I'm going to send my people there. And we've got all of a sudden this whole web, a whole network of therapists supporting therapists who are then supporting communities and families. So also the upside of this is we can't save everybody. If there's, they're saying like 70% of the planet have got some disease, if not more. And the percentage of people that are on prescription medication, that have crippling anxiety, in the UK alone, the numbers are huge. You're one person, you can't save everybody. Even if you open a shop, or 5 shops like I did, you still can't save everybody. So think about how you can change your mindset, get out there and collaborate with people rather than feeling you have to compete. And put your trust in the universe. At the end of the day, it's the universe and synchronicities and intuition that has got you here. It's got you doing your lifelong dream of treating and helping people. So just trust the universe and you will be amazed what happens. And just before we go, I would say that the other thing that happens is that obviously you're a lone practitioner, you're self-employed, you're juggling clients, admin, marketing, burnout. You're probably an empath if you're giving, which means you don't just go in and deliver a treatment. Hopefully you don't. You're giving your heart and soul, and you're over giving, and you're probably going home still thinking about, oh, could I have done this, could I have done that. You're post-morteming all your treatments and the time you spend with people, and oh, I must mention that, or I wish I'd mentioned this, or I hope they're okay, or I hope I did a good job. This is going on all the time. This is just not a 9-to-5 gig. That is not the industry we're in. And what happens is if you can still work on your own, you still have your own place, but if you've got a network of people around you in your town, then you've got a crew of souls, like-minded souls that are also supporting the community, and you feel part of something. Being a therapist in a room, or being self-employed on your own, or even with a couple of people, can be quite isolating and quite lonely. If you are used to, a lot of the people we work with are used to being in a corporate environment, and it, with loads, offices full of hundreds of people. So to then be sort of in a room or whatever on your own can be quite lonely. So that is absolutely the upside of it. Now, if you meet somebody that it's quite clear they're out for themselves and they're not quite at the stage that you're at, and their mindset is not quite there, you have a choice. Do you educate, or you can walk away and say, okay, well, that person's just not quite there. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, they probably have a family to support. They still need to eat. They've got bills to pay. You never know what's going on in people's families. So we just love them unconditionally and move on. We don't need to be fighting with people. And I think that the shifts that your clients will experience because of this new mindset is going to be quite profound. And if everybody can collaborate together, and for those that aren't quite there, that's okay. What they will do is they will see that, oh, hang on a minute, there's quite a little collective going on here. That's quite exciting. Perhaps I should be part of that. How could I be part of that? There is a thing, I don't know if you've heard of the 100 monkeys thing, where they had 100 monkeys and they took one monkey and put him on an island, and they taught him to, I think it was from memory, it was to build something or mix a bowl or something like that. They taught him to do something that was quite difficult to do. So he mastered it. Monkeys are smart. And before we knew it, now he didn't travel across the water to the mainland where the other 100 monkeys were, but before they knew it, all the other monkeys could do the same thing. And this is what we call quantum entanglement. So this happens with humans. If you become the highest energy in your town, your village, your area, your community, others will follow. Lead the way. You're an empath. You're supposed to be leading the way. You've already broken the mold by doing the therapies that you're doing. This is another level of healing. And not only that, we get a lot of conventional medicine people coming to our courses and our events. And these are nurses. These are doctors, GPs, vets even. I mean, we've had lots and lots of people. There are people on the NHS side that are starting to bridge the gap. So we need to go meet them there. And that's also collaboration. It's collaborating with social prescribers. Who's who in the community? Like, where is the health and wellbeing centres? Who's set up mental health groups for kids or for men or men's sheds, right? Who could you help? The days of just sticking adverts on Facebook and hoping that those people will reach you are gone, because Facebook, and I will be doing an episode about this, but Facebook is completely, the algorithm is, you'll know it yourself. Nobody you know is on Facebook. It's just all adverts on your own wall. So it's very, very difficult. And these bigger companies have millions and millions of pounds to put towards Facebook advertising. We don't. We just don't. And I certainly wouldn't actually encourage it. So the only other tool we've got is to go retro and get out there with leaflets, business cards, word of mouth, get yourself in groups, collaborate with other people, look for people and say, right, okay, well, such and such is Pilates class. She's got 1,400 followers on Facebook. So it's quite clear that she's got quite, she's been in business for quite some time. I know that my modality would help her because I know that, she's not offering that. So how many of her people can't come to Pilates classes because perhaps they've got things that I could fix, and that would really help her as well. So it's thinking outside the box and really trying to go, as I say, back to the old way, which is what I said in episode 2 about Era 3 is very technically and technology advanced, but it's also going quite retro. And getting your feet on the ground, get out there, have your business cards with you all the time. You never know when you're going to meet somebody. The amount of times, particularly in Glastonbury, because it's a land of synchronicities, that we are at Chalice Well or in the Abbey, and then we just end up speaking to someone, and then they say, have you got a business card? And I'm like, I've not had business cards in years. Why would I have a business card? And it happens so much that I realised that Somerset, there's business cards everywhere. And there's little leaflets, and people are still putting them in their shop windows. And most shops have little pin boards for businesses and it's all to support the community. So have a think about what I've said and how that feels for you. If you have resistance going, no way I'm doing that. She would take my business, or he would take my business, and I've worked 10 years for this client base. Absolutely fine. If this doesn't resonate, that's absolutely fine. But if it does resonate and it feels like it's time for you to step up and get out there, then really have a think about what we have shared today and how you could change your way of thinking. What did you do in the past? years ago, before social media? What did you do to start a business? Do you remember all the little magazines that come through the door? We still get them here. I don't know if you guys do, but adverts in there are maybe £20, if that. I still read mine because I think I can't be bothered going through Facebook looking for a window cleaner, so I'm going to just look in there. It's nice to keep things local as well. In the age of, or the AI age and the digital age, people are craving connection, particularly after COVID. Be one of the connectors, be one of the people that are like, yeah, I'll collab with you, I'll cooperate with you and co-create with you. Let's do something amazing, let's do a day together. And yeah, you're not going to make as much money as you would if you did it yourself, but would you do it yourself anyway? And that's the point. So I hope this has helped. As always, feel free to send us an email if you have got any questions. Comment below if you have got any insight, or let me know how this sits with you. If you do have resistance and you're not sure how to get over that, drop us a message. We will be doing something in further episodes on it, but drop us a message, because at the end of the day, we're here to help and to serve you, and to help people. So we're more than welcome, more than happy to receive messages and emails. So thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Just a quick one before we go. If you have enjoyed this podcast, you'd like to connect with Erica and myself and be part of our community, Life Heal. We're on Instagram and on Facebook as the Life Heal Journey. We've also got a website where you can find lots of free resources, blog posts and things like that. You're more than welcome to look us up. It's www.lifehealjourney.com. We have a Facebook group with over 1,000 people in it and beautiful souls, and you're welcome to come in and have a look around and chat to people. That is Life Heal Lifestyle. And then finally, if you want to deep dive a bit more thoroughly, then we have lifehealuniversity.com, and that is our online platform, and it's a subscription platform. It's £27 a month, and you get lots of different courses, meditations, there's a book club, and it's just a little bit more serious than the Facebook group. So you're welcome to reach out to us in any way you like. There is a contact section on our website, so if you've got any questions, we love to connect with people. So feel free to message us, give us a shout with your story, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.